What's going on, good people? This is yours truly, EZDZ, 1/3 of the Chop Shop crew. I don't know why Dade City started. We finna cut up tonight, man. I already know how this finna go. So, as to my right, Dade City's finest, Waldella. What's happening, brother?
What's going on, baby?
Okay, and this young man to my right across from me is the one and only, a.k.a. Ruff, Greg Doss. How you feeling tonight, young man?
I feel my hands like I always do.
I tell you, we're gonna cut up tonight. Well, this good brother to the left of Doss, man, is doing a lot of good stuff in the Bay Area, man. So we're gonna let him delve into what he's talking about, what he got going. He's doing a boys' night out for the young men of the Bay Area. So without further ado, let's give a chop shop welcome to President of the Bubba Foundation, Jalem Robinson.
Nice to be here, man. Appreciate y'all boys for having me on.
Oh yeah, appreciate, like I said, you being patient, working with the delay, you know, getting crunk up. But
He gonna throw it out there, ain't he?
hey, but we gotta let them know. Like I say, people ask, hey, they want to know, hey, we got
this one. Make sure you on here,
bro.
Yeah, we here, man. We live.
We here. So let's
There you go. About time.
let's get into the meat of it.
Just chill. We here.
So,
we here.
We'll put you on your path to work with young men, man. That's very, very refreshing to see. And you're a younger cat, you know what I'm saying, getting out here making a difference. What got you started into doing that?
So really long story short, I was working at a school, and at that school, I happened to be the disciplinarian as the black man there. The teachers knew that the kids would listen to me and do what I want them to do. So there was one particular time where a teacher called me to her class, and she had a class full of boys, full of black boys, of course.
Okay.
And she called me to the classroom, and she was like, "Mr. Jalem, the offenders are over there."
offenders.
The offenders. So when she said that, that like kind of that did something to my spirit. Like that did something to my spirit. So like in that moment, I was like, man, y'all boys, let's go. Let's go. I know what I need to do. So instead of like taking that time to discipline them that she wanted me to do, me and my homeboy just pulled him out of class and we started talking to him like, you know, what y'all want to do after this? Because they were in 5th grade. We were like, you know, what y'all want to do? Oh, we want to play football. How you going to play football if you can't do what you got to do in 5th grade to get to middle school, to get to high school, to get to college to play football? So we were having those small conversations, and I really was like, man, I want to do this more. So I was like, I'm going to check on them every week. Did that for a couple weeks. I was like, man, I bet it's more boys out here that I need to be probably having this same kind of conversation with. And then, you know, years later, here we go, like we doing stuff every month. We got different programs going on. So really, I just saw, you know, I was really just aggravated with how they was dealing with our boys in the system. So I was like, I can either do something about it or I could just be mad. So I was like, let me do a little something.
Okay. That's what's up, man.
Kind of sounds a little like somebody else we know on the board, on the show. Remember? And then I actually, I honestly say I didn't get fed up with the kids. I got fed up with the administration, and then UPS came calling too. But,
Yeah, but just like my man Jalem just said, you said the offenders. Like that stings. Like that's just like what you like offenders. Like what you.
Yeah, but you
like
know,
what you getting at?
That's really what was in her head, and that's how she thought. And so I was like, man, I bet that's how she treating them like every day in class.
Comfortable enough to say it.
Yeah, that's really what was crazy to me. I was like, do you like look at me like?
Right.
I look like them, like wow.
Right.
So you look like an offender to her too.
Yeah, you would look like
offender. Come get the other offenders. So I was like, man,
you the older offender. So come get the younger offender.
I was like, boys, let's go. Let's
what year was this? About what year was this?
It's about 2013.
Oh, I was long gone by then. Okay.
Right, but also with that though, I think something that we don't address enough is that a lot of the younger boys don't have father figures or mentors that they can reach out to. We had Coach Chang on here last week. Shout out to Coach Chang. And, you know, he coaches youth football. And it's such thankless work. And even like, you know, what you do is thankless because you deal with a lot of young boys that need direction. Mm-hmm. And it's so pivotal at this stage in life, like I said, between the ages of 9, 12, 13, those are pivotal years that, you know, your manhood begins to shape and take form.
Bring it back this way. You might want to start fifth, 5 years old, because the formative educational years are not just important from an academic standpoint.
Right.
They set the foundation for how you approach school.
Right.
And study habits, all this stuff comes in, and it comes in earlier. See, with us, it started so early with a slap upside the head
Right.
and the expectation.
Yeah.
But,
Agreed.
Yeah, we had really direct involvement by our parents back in the day.
Yeah, it was a lot more hands-on parents.
Pun intended.
As I should say.
Yeah,
so it was
and literally. Yeah.
yeah. So it was a lot more hands-on parents, and the expectations were vocal about the expectations,
Right.
And they didn't allow a lot of the kids to I say just get away with the things they get away with now.
Right.
There's a community expectation as well.
Right.
Or at least there were definitely a lot more in the community and in your environment, years ago than is now. I'm just happy to see that there's still young people. Now, were you in that
They gonna die off, dogs? Where you think the young people going?
They keep having babies. They ain't going nowhere.
But he's been involved for a while. Because I don't know, were you a part of that city? I mean, when I went to the school board meeting, I said that they need to give an incentive or a stipend for black males. They should give them at least a $15,000 sign-in bonus
to teach.
To come into Hillsborough County. Because, Waldo found out Hillsborough County has a large budget. And we talking about years ago, I went in there and I said, it may hurt people's feelings, but we have too much estrogen in the school system.
Yeah.
But I think something else, piggybacking on what you were saying, is that school has changed where, you can't have that, can't be hands-on with these kids now, because now they calling parents. Parents want to fight. Kids are very disrespectful.
And it's a lot of it's the parents, and it's the parents that's really, I think, really the issue, because you ain't gonna talk to my child like this.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You ain't gonna do my child like this.
I believe this.
When you need your child to be done like that sometimes.
That's the shirt that I asked Miss Newton to make for us. Is well, the reality is, when you walk in, you see people that look like you and who have a demand of you, it does make a difference. And we can continue to play this game about what doesn't matter. But if you don't believe me, if you don't believe the numbers, I'm talking about the empirical data that supports what the influence of having positive black men in kids' life makes. Open your eyes.
Thank you.
Friggin'.
Open your eyes. Friggin'. and put your feelings to the side, because we're losing in areas that, and we talk off camera, and don't be all bashful, Daryl. We didn't expect to see this when we met 33 years ago. 33 years ago.
Yeah,
you never could have told us 33 years ago that we would have these issues this prevalent in our community.
Now I'm going to ask you, Brother Jay, you spoke about the impact, just working with kids. Do you have kids that, because you're going to get kids that going to give you some resistance that make your job a little more difficult when you're trying to reach out? Because, it's like, if you dealing with a certain type of kid, I know y'all do the night out, and I know y'all use Jackson Heights, correct?
So we had it once.
They go to different locations.
Oh, so you go to different locations.
Just so you know, they go to different locations.
I stand to be correct. That's my second. Okay.
Yeah, we try to, we try to mix it up. We try to be in as many places as we can, but our normal place is Memorial for the Boys Night Out. But last month we did it at Jackson Heights. I think it was the month before last month.
Memorial by
that was last month. It was last month. It was at just because I went to Memorial. That's how I know they do it at different.
Yeah, he ain't look at the location on the flyer.
Okay, but now
Daryl, Hillsborough adult education for me, though, right?
Huh?
Memorial was Hillsborough adult education when I was there.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. But then some also, but they built that because so many kids got to put these kids in school. Overcrowding, because you had Young, and I think Orange Grove were the only schools in that area. Yeah. So they had to build another school to put them kids, but they didn't go to middle school.
Isn't Seminole Heights? That's
not the middle school though. Seminole Heights is elementary school.
Okay.
So, but what I was trying to get to is that, and I think when we talk about the kids today, growing up, I was in the early era of hustlers. If you understand, well, you saw the guys. Our neighborhood didn't have guys on the corner. We didn't have that.
No.
But I caught that moving down here in 1989. You saw that dope boys on the corner. So a lot of young kids, they are very impressed by that. Mm-hmm. They see that. So when you come and you present something to them and you talk to them, everybody only they want to see, because that's right now. So the process, how do you get them to buy into what you preaching?
So it depends on the age, because we work with boys ages 4 to 18.
Okay.
So, and even after 18, we still work with them until
good
forever.
stuff.
We really say 4 to forever. But
I like that. Forever. I like that.
Because
Yeah.
if you mess up, it's gonna be forever.
look, so if we're talking about like high school age,
Okay.
it's gonna look different, because
Right.
you know, some of them aren't gonna come to our events, and they're
Right.
only going to come because their mom is like, hey, I need
Getting
somebody-
dropped off.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know, what we really try to do is not force it on them, because I know for myself, I don't want to do nothing people are trying to make me want to do.
Okay.
So we try our best to not like
Push
force
it
ourselves
out,
or,
yeah,
or
okay.
push even what we believe on the boys, because first we got to build a relationship with them. Because if they know that Mr. Jalem care, if they know that Mr. Jeremy, Mr. Ricky just talking to him because he care, they're gonna listen a little bit differently than,
Right.
oh, my mama called this man up here to talk to me and he telling me to stop skipping school. They're gonna be like, no. I don't know you.
Yeah, I don't even know
your
you.
name.
Yeah, I don't even know your name. Yeah.
What is Bubba? But that's not impressive to them. So,
Right.
you know, we really got to get to know them first.
Right.
And then just have real conversations with them. And the older they are, the easier, because, you know, when they're young, they just running around. So
Right.
we got a few of them that, you know, we first got to get them to sit down and even
Listen.
chill.
Yeah, relax.
That's my thing. Chill, just chill.
Yeah.
Before we can even get to the real issue. But with that middle school and high school age, it's really like building that relationship, letting them know, hey, I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just trying to tell you what makes sense, and what you're doing really don't make sense. So we try to work with them a little bit differently to get them to buy in.
Now this is something that I really want to ask you. Do a lot of your kids come from single parent environment? Do you have kids in there with two parents?
We got both. We have a really good mix of kids that
Okay.
come out to our stuff. We definitely have a lot of the single parent
Right.
households, but we also have, you know, kids with mom and dad.
Okay.
And, you know, just because it's a 2-parent household doesn't mean that, you know, that boy
There's
doesn't
no
need
dysfunctionalism.
that-
And that's what I wanted to get to. Like,
Sometimes
I
it's a
don't
little
know
bit
why
more.
we're being
Could be
so
more
kind.
toxic in the
I don't know why
household.
we're being so kind.
If daddy jumping on mama and everybody in the house,
yeah.
So we have,
That's
He ready to come to
out.
Bubba
Yeah,
night.
that's an out. That's a getaway.
yeah, we got all
yeah.
different kinds of kinds of boys in our programs, but we definitely have a lot of those ones that come from the single moms. Like, hey, he needs something to do. He need to be around some
Right.
guys. We dropping him off.
Okay.
Real quick for the people out there who didn't get the first time, could you give us what the acronym BUBBA stands for?
So Bubba stands for
Pull it up to a red if you can.
Brothers United Building Brothers Alliance. Bubba.
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 How'd you come up with that concept? How'd you come up with that name?
So another reason Bubba is so important to me is because I have a lot of my own brothers. So
Okay.
me and my brothers are like real tight, and actually one of my younger brothers helped me come up with the name. And we were in the car really driving, and I was like, all right, what I'm gonna call it? And he was like, I don't know, it gotta be something like with brothers in it. So I'm like, all right, like brothers. He like, yeah, like brothers building brothers. So we really like went back
Y'all
and
going
forth.
back and forth. Y'all in the lab. Y'all
Until
working.
we got
Okay,
something.
okay.
I was like, but it got to be like an alliance. Like it got to
Brainstorming,
be
so-
Yeah.
like bringing it together.
Yeah.
And so we really, you know, just like driving from the store on the way home, we came up with it. And I have
The
a
light just came on. You were like, that's it.
put it together.
That's
and
right.
Then,
Bubba.
and then Bubba came later after we came up with, you know, Brothers United Building Brothers Alliance. He was like, hey, Jay, that's Bubba. I'm like, Bubba, like Uncle Bubba, who was like a really influential uncle of mine.
Okay, cool.
I was
All
like,
right.
dang, like Uncle Bubba. He like, yeah.
So that
Bubba.
resonate. That resonates. That was
That
something.
works. That
Now,
works.
with the high school kids,
Yeah, buddy.
are they open to talk to y'all about anything? Because I know.
Oh yeah, they own
Okay, so
that.
they so they
want
okay.
somebody to talk their craziness too, like
Okay.
and we give them that space, like we give them that space because we want to hear that, so we can tell you, hey, like, you know, that's just like a music video, like you gonna go to jail. He gonna do that in a music video and look good. You gonna go to jail.
Go back to the suburbs.
Right. So
Go back to Calabasas. You
you can't do that. It ain't gonna happen for you like that.
Do it. However, the consequences, they're extreme.
I want to say the kids out there, man. So I go out as much as I can when I can get out there. If I remember, I got them on my calendar now. So
okay,
so I'm just keeping it real. I'm just keeping it real.
But that's fair.
It's times I've missed the event. I was at home in my drawers, like, bruh, I'm supposed to be at
Bubba.
Yeah. And it'd be like by the time I get up and get dressed, it'll be over with. But when I make it out there, I got them on my calendar now. So I'll definitely be to more of them. But just getting out there and being out there with the kids, it's not any kids out there with like a negative attitude or negative mentality or anything like that. The kids go out there now. They a handful now.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about that.
They busy. It's never a kid out there that's just angry or don't want to be out there. Fight. It's always a good time with the kids. Man.
How many kids y'all know?
A lot.
Young brothers y'all know to get out there just on the average?
Between like 75 to 150.
A lot.
Cool. So on a slow night, it's like 75.
Okay.
It'd be a lot on these.
But if it's swinging, it's like at least 120 of them running around there. Football, outside, basketball, inside.
Soccer. They got the little soccer out there field. All them the little Spanish kids. And I told Jalem, I ain't know what they had. I was watching the kids with.
We don't have anybody else listening.
I was out there. Crowd on the pivot.
I was out there watching the kids playing soccer.
Got some Ritalin?
Yeah. And the kids, I don't know what they were saying. I had to tell Jalem they might be cussing. Yeah, we need somebody that can speak Spanish out here because I don't know.
Tori go out there with you there. Translate.
Like that's a real observation. So it was funny, but
I was being serious, brother. Like I was being serious because like the one kid he had on the Hilfiger shirt, I ain't gonna forget, but he looked like he was cussing.
Yeah,
he looked like he was all cussing. Yeah.
They was all cussing.
He looked like he was cussing, bro. Like his demeanor, like if he didn't get the ball, like he looked like he was cussing.
Oh, maybe he might have been that kind of ball player.
Probably.
Were you Bubba when we met? Were y'all Bubba? You were Bubba then? Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm. Because that was Crucial Conversations. So that was one of our first signature events that we did.
Okay. So, and y'all do this monthly. So, because what I was trying to get to is I know where I was in high school, what I was into, and what I want to talk about. So I be like, and I didn't have. I laugh about this now, and I'm gonna throw this out. We having conversation. My dad tried to tell me about the birds and the bees, and I already had sex. So it was like we on the interstate riding, and he's like, you're gonna get to a point where you like girls. I'm looking out the window like, man, what is he talking about? Like, I'm already knee deep. Yeah, I'm knee deep into like what is okay? But I'm gonna looking out the window. I'm like, yes sir, yes sir. I'm like,
what else are you gonna say?
I mean, that was it. I wasn't gonna do that. Yeah, I was it. Like, okay, thank you.
But I appreciate the heads up. You should appreciate that. I've never had that talk before.
Hey, what else you gonna say to Uncle if he talking to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. So when you have younger kids that don't have, my man CJ Grad just posted, the youth that spend time with elders will be more knowledgeable amongst the youth, and I agree with that too, because if you around your grandparents, aunts and uncles growing up, you got that old school uncle that's the life of the party. Mm-hmm. When he come, he always got something good to tell you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He gonna climb, he gonna cut up with you, so you soak up what he give you. Mm-hmm. And that's why I say I think what you guys doing is great, because there's so many young African American boys and Hispanic boys just of color.
Our boundaries.
It's all kids in there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, white kids in there too.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Jalem not racist, bro.
I'm not saying being racist.
Saying it like, hey, can you this is diversified. This is a
okay. And I respect that. I respect that. Channing Crowder,
diversified company, man.
Okay, I'm not.
I told everybody Dade City's finest is gonna be here. I didn't know that other guy was gonna be here at all.
Yeah, I don't know what this guy's doing, but he's
man,
I didn't say it. I'm trying to just.
Yes, you did. We all heard it.
He said it.
Okay, I asked a question.
That's all.
I asked a question, and then he clarified for me. Yeah, I just asked the question.
Wow,
so, Jalem, with that being said, let's do maybe a quick take two.
Man.
So you have all different races
Yes.
that attend your events.
Naturally,
Yes.
but
Okay, yeah. So I ain't talking. Ain't no whites allowed. Ain't.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, they got.
Sound like
Only
you Jim
you.
Crow over there.
Okay, here he go.
oh wow.
So ain't nobody said that's it about. So
That's
let's be
crazy,
clear.
D.
Chop Shop said that's
Hey,
it
this
about.
is tomorrow's show.
We're not promoting
this cat right
racism
here.
or that like that. But I mean, so when you have white kids come in, and I know, like you say, when they interact, cause they go to middle school, they go to school with them, so it's just a real
Much
good
more
vibe.
diverse.
Right, all the way around there.
Yeah.
So, it's majority.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely,
It's
absolutely,
majority us.
absolutely.
But what so we had a very interesting incident one time with one of my high school groups where, of course, it was mostly black and Spanish, but we had the couple of boys who just like to be around the brothers. They play basketball, they hang out, they go to the school, like you
They
said.
comfortable. Okay.
And they like being around the brothers. So there was this one time where it was only one white boy. And he came into the room, and I think maybe it was his first meeting. So you know high school boys.
Yeah.
Like, they gonna clown.
They gonna clown. Yeah, I already
like,
know
nah,
that.
you can't come in here. You is not allowed.
Yeah.
Going off. So I'm down the hallway. I'm not close enough yet, but I hear them down the hallway. So I'm hot. I'm like, let me wait till I get down to this classroom. Like it's going down. So I hurry up and I get there, and as soon as they saw my face, everybody shut up because they knew it was.
Yeah.
I'm snapping.
Right.
But what I really told them about the conversation later, I was like, his experience now is going to be so much richer because now he has 10, 15 black and brown brothers that he can speak about. Like,
Right.
So when somebody might be coming to him talking about, look at what those black boys or look at what they doing. He like, man, I got 15 brothers. Like, nah, they do this and they do that.
Yeah.
They do the same things we do. So, I shut that down real quick. Like, everybody's welcome. Everybody's a brother.
Right.
A brother is a brother. But I told him, I was like, his experience is going to be so much richer. He's,
And yours will as well if you take the
Yeah.
advantage of the opportunity to sit down and speak with them about whatever his cultural experiences, whatever his life might have been about.
But I think something else too, that sports in school was what brought us. Like, you played ball at Wharton. Was it any white guys that played?
Yeah, it was.
And they were accepted, correct?
Waldo's young though, so
Yeah, but I'm saying, but you sit back and think though, where Wharton is located, Wharton is in New Tampa,
Yeah, so
so they have a lot of kids, Fletcher, 22nd, that were
the
shipped out there.
the heart of the school was Wesley Chapel, New.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So you had the mix. You
all of
had
that
the mix
was out
with
there.
I
it.
remember when they built it.
Cause I still remember, like, what was funny that I had my younger cousin. They lived in Tampa Palms, and the middle school they went to was Lockhart.
Right.
And Lockhart was kind of like lean on me, like in the late '80s, early '90s.
I had people tell me that.
So they
at
were
work.
terrified, like, like, man, go to like. So they actually built, schools to keep their kids, and they built kids. They built Benito, Liberty, Freedom, Warden to keep their kids from staying out there instead of being shipped. Because back in the day, if you lived in Tampa Palms, you went to King. That's where you went. That was your zone school. You went to King. And if you live further out, you went to King.
When did the vouchers come? When did the vouchers come out? Super producer. When they start using vouchers?
Oh, I'd have to look it up.
Okay,
give us that. But
Yeah, when you
that
get a
had a
chance,
lot
yeah.
to do with the.
I got Tariq on here. You got kids be cussing?
Of course.
Oh yeah.
Now we tell the kids not to cuss.
No, that wasn't
the
a
rules,
question.
the rules are no cussing. I even
cussing.
tell them not to cuss.
The kids cuss, bro.
They be cussing.
The kids cuss.
99.
But they get it from y'all, their parents. They hear their parents cuss. You cussed her out yesterday. They heard it in the kitchen. They heard it. You cussed them out this morning when you woke them up.
I'll cussing outside playing ball like 10, 11 years old. So
We're not around adults.
Trend
No.
cuss.
But I mean, the windows up. I told you, lay down the street, heard me cussing. I'm outside. We playing base football, and I'm like, "You sorry, MF? You should have called the MF ball." And they were like, "Daryl." I'm like, "Huh?"
Ma'am.
And
Yeah,
they,
ma'am.
And they not walking around cussing. So don't. Waldo, don't act like they walk
not.
around
So,
cussing.
like you
now.
said, when they playing, it's
Now it's competitive.
It's a lot of it's a lot of when they playing football or they playing basketball.
Yeah, now the football field, that's a different.
Gladiators, they out there.
That's a
They going at it.
Yeah,
No,
and I let my
they
guys,
doing that,
my guys who do that, I'm inside doing what I do.
I'm usually outside, so they
outside.
yeah.
So you
I already know what kind of influence you are.
Why are those days sitting right in the thick of it?
I already know what
He
kind of
probably
influence that
promoting.
is.
I ain't promoting it.
Damn, bro, you dropped that. Damn, bro.
Like the first time, I ain't gonna say it was shocking to me because I ref high school, so
Right.
I hear them.
So let me ask you, when you coach high school, when you hear
No,
him
he
cuss,
said ref.
when you rep, what would you say to him? If you hear him cuss, what would you say to him?
So only time I would throw a flag is if my white hat heard it.
Okay. So the white hat, then you got to do something.
Yeah. So I say something to him, like, bro, chill out.
Chill out now.
Chill out. I can hear you. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, they be, oh, my bad.
And you get that one too,
But-
like, man.
Now, if you going crazy and like other ref hear you, I gotta throw a flag.
Throw a
like,
flag.
yeah.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. So we're gonna take our first break. As you know, every show we do, we dedicate to my man Will D. He left us back in August, actually 2 days after we did our first show. It's still crazy to sit back and think we kicked it Tuesday night, had some wings, and that was my last time seeing him. And he called me Wednesday. Mrs. Carney left us that Thursday. So Cigar Life, www.cigarlyfe.com. We got some good apparel on there, man. Check them out. And Ruff, let everybody know what you got going on. And please let these folks know you got receipts as well.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Greg Dawson, G9 Attorney Pro Se Consultants. And what we do is we help people navigate through the sometimes arduous pathway of self-representation. See, and you got this guy over here.
Big words.
I'm telling you, the wordplay is intoxicating.
We know you can read
keep
those.
going, bro. You keep
We know
doing
you can
your
read
thing.
those.
And we don't give legal advice. We don't give legal advice, and what we also don't do is sell you on the idea that self-representation is an easy task. Now, if you like to, you can check us out tomorrow, and actually every Tuesday and Thursday night at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Blog Talk Radio at blogtalkradio.com/Greg Doss. You can find me on YouTube at Greg Doss, GDNAPSC, and you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at GDNAPSC. And we do have receipts. And don't forget, next Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at 1700 Tampa Street, I will be conducting an oral argument. It'll be Doss versus the state of Florida and the Department of Revenue, Child Support Enforcement. So me, Ron DeSantis, Ashley Moody, and whoever they bring with us, we'll get it in, and we'll try to set a precedent. But we're getting ready.
Well, it's going to be an arduous task, but I think you're up to it. So
Everybody. But I do appreciate these nice shirts, Mrs. Neal.
anyway, that's going to be on our next segment. So we're going to take a quick,
okay.
take a quick 2-minute break. We do not own the right to this music. Torres, give us something arduous, please. All right, we're getting back into the second segment of Chop Shop. Yours truly, EZDZ. I got my man, Dade City's finest, Walt Della, right here to my right. As you know, the infamous one and only, a.k.a. Ruff, Greg Dawson, kicking it with us as well, back from his week sabbatical last week. And our special guest, CEO of Bubba's.
I missed last week.
Jalem Robinson. You weren't here last week, just to be clear.
I don't know what you was doing, bro.
So we got Brother Jay here kicking it with us. So before we went off the air, we talked about your impact as far as say what you do. Is this a one man? I know I heard you give some other names. Mm-hmm. So it's some other
Jeremy,
guys.
Ricky, and Jalem at least, right?
Jeremy, Ricky, Dan, Justin, Brian.
We get them shout out. You definitely get them shout outs before we get out of here. So
there's no way, no possible way I would be able to do any of this by myself. Like even Boys Night Out alone.
Not with all them kids.
What? Them 150
crazy.
boys. If I didn't have, my guys that
a piece with just
do that kind of stuff,
right?
It wouldn't go like it goes. So,
but the beauty of that, man, is that you get them all they on board and they committed, to making a difference. And I think that's the biggest thing. Like the reward that you get when you make an impact on a kid's life, man, is something that stays with you. Mm-hmm. And I remember I just tried, and all of us have coached in some capacity. But I got kids that I've coached, married, and when they see me, hey, what's going on, Coach D?
Mm-hmm. You always coach, huh?
Yeah, I always coach. It ain't Daryl, hey, what's going on, Coach? And that's refreshing because you see that you did something, you left a good impact on what they doing now in life. And I think that's what we have to do. I know a lot of guys that play ball I think it's easy to make football players, but it's harder to make men, if you understand, I mean, people can feel different about that, but I think a lot of
it's definitely harder to make men.
Yeah, because it's a lot of these younger boys now.
More to it than X's and O's.
Right, a lot of these young boys now don't have direction, don't have guidance, and they out here. So like you said, if you're in a toxic environment where like dad beating the mama or drugs and things like
vice
that.
Versa.
Yeah, I mean that's possible too.
I seen on Facebook, Instagram, man.
I didn't open the door for him. I did not open the door for
Woman
you.
not do that, bro.
For real.
Hit him with a mean 2-piece.
See how you open the door for him?
Channing Crowder strikes again. So it's like
and he went to sleep.
He went to sleep. Okay.
He went to sleep.
He's gonna finish that story.
He gonna get that.
Now we can go to the next topic.
He's gonna
Next topic, please.
Man,
So I just think I think that's the beauty of what you do. There's a lot of rewards because, like I say it again, it's thankless work for what you and your partners do with you, man. Because to get,
well, is it thankless at your level, or is it more do they show some level of appreciation as they walk out?
So, you got the ones that will, say thank you, and but really, it's seeing the change or seeing them come in, one way and see the progression.
The development over
see
time.
them, start being, introverted, not talking to nobody, and then 30 minutes later in a basketball game playing with boys that they never seen before. So the real reward comes from, actually seeing a change or seeing a, improvement in them. Okay. You got the ones that, are going to be like, oh, thank you so much. But really, we want to see you do something a little different. We want to see, something change.
Now, I want to toss this out here because I know as goofy as he sounds right now, he thinks about it too because we've had a couple of conversations off air. 150 boys, and I don't know what the dynamic is, but wouldn't that be enough to start some sort of charter school potentially, or just the ages vary too much?
It's not enough of the same age groups. So it's like the age gap is so wide, it'll be hard to.
Have you ever thought about some sort of? I mean, whether it's, we know we need one. It is what it is, especially for young men. It doesn't matter, I guess, what ethnicity, but we definitely need more schools that I don't know if it's necessarily charter, but that are. I mean, I know
the one you was working at,
AMI,
and then they have Icon.
So that's like a pre-alternative school.
Yeah. Icon right on 50.
Icon's alternative?
No, Icon is
AMI
a charter.
kids.
Yeah.
Icon is a private school.
Is
That's
AMI
right
on
that's on 50th,
MLK?
though. I got it right. It's on 50th, right by the churches, right?
No, that's Idea.
Idea. Okay.
That's Idea.
Where's Icon?
Icon is in West Tampa.
Okay. So
Icon in the West.
let me. Was that your career path? Working with kids? That's what you wanted to do growing up?
No.
Well, let's back up for a minute. Let's
Wow. I thought
let's go back. Jalem Robinson, 14, 15 years old. What did Jalem Robinson want to do?
I think I wanted to be a lawyer.
Want to be a lawyer. Okay.
Yeah. I wanted to be a lawyer.
Okay.
And then when I went to college, I wanted to be a pharmacist.
Where'd you go to school?
FAMU.
Wow.
Thought I was gonna be a pharmacist because I wanted to make a whole bunch of money.
Guthrie's. Okay,
But
the
I
moon.
couldn't do nothing with science. So I was like,
Right.
oh, okay. I was just playing. I don't really want to be a pharmacist. And then 4 years after playing around in college, I was like, oh, I think I like education.
Okay.
Kids are cool. Transferred, changed my major to English education because I always liked to write. And then while I was in school finishing my education degree, that's when I started working with the after school programs. And that's when I got introduced to that special teacher that called the kids the offenders. And then, but what was crazy, when I was at FAM, I was writing about a boys program. So, but it was just, I just was like writing it. I didn't really know that I wanted to do it. I was just like, oh, this 10 boys, that would be cool. Like, I look back at my old notebooks and I was just thinking about 10 boys.
But that's a vision that, like you say, you saw, and now look at what you're doing now.
At FAM? Did you intern? Because you were English ed, so I know that's upper level, secondary.
I didn't go over to English ed until I transferred to USF. So
Oh, okay.
At FAM, I was pharmacy, allied health, and religion and philosophy.
Okay.
Okay.
So I was doing everything.
Okay.
And how long has the program been in? Because you've probably, I'm thinking, how long is the program in? 8, 9 years now?
Whatever 2014 is.
Well, that's 9. So you've had kids that have grown with you through the program. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool then.
Yeah, actually 10, but yeah, interesting.
So you probably got any of them like finna graduate this year? Like,
Yeah, a lot of them.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
One of them that graduated like last year, he's on my live right now. I talk about Mr. Robinson with a whole bunch of N's.
okay.
Yeah, I got a lot of
Welcome back, Carter.
I got a lot of them in college, about to graduate now. Already
Yeah, that's
graduated.
Great.
And so that's really good to see.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Do you have
Vet in the game.
huh?
Vet in the
Yeah,
game.
definitely. Like I
man.
say, you 9 years strong, and like you say, the impact you make. Like I say, kids graduate. Like you say, young man on the line, Mr. Robinson, with all the ends. Like that's what it's about. And I think more people have to understand we all are here to make a difference, but also give back. And do your part. There's so many people out here, man, that have achieved different levels of different things, but just don't give back as far as trying to make a difference.
Hey, giving back to young people today, even if it's within your heart, or it's going to, it's like a patience thing now, because it takes something special.
But you got some kids that really they good kids. They just
No doubt. No doubt.
I mean, you got some kids that are rough. You got some kids that are rough. Like,
But I mean, a lot of it goes along with the setting too.
Right.
So like me coming in to Bubba, it's easy. Like it's easy for me to come in, go in, talk to the kids. They've already opened up to the program. They're already opened up to being around the adults that are there, that are trying to pour into them. So it's not difficult. So it really depends on the setting. Now,
but see,
if you
got a good gift. You got a good gift when you come in and you lose, you cut up with them. So you already, it's easy for you.
yeah, I mean
But I'm
everybody
saying,
love me.
right? But I'm saying if you come in with that structure, like okay, guys, this is what we're gonna do.
Y'all ain't coming in. We ain't know. We ain't
So
doing it like that.
it's different if you coming into Bubba and then
And then
you
everybody
coming
don't
at
love
somebody
you for the record. But go ahead, keep going.
cap. But it's different. Like if you coming at somebody on the street, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't know you.
Right.
Like what you telling me this for? Get out my face. Like
It's pretty abrasive.
So
I mean, but that's how the kids is gonna be. Like
that's how they are. Like I said, that's how they are. Like I don't know you. I mean, that's for real though. And especially you ain't talking about you ain't putting no money in their head. You ain't trying to give them no plan to get no money.
bro, who are you?
Yeah, who are you? Like what's up? Where I know you from, bro. You gonna get that. I mean, that's the truth. So and y'all and when you like go to these, and what I'm kind of intrigued by is that these schools allow you like no resistance and come in and do whatever you need to do. That's cool.
Yeah, well, we got schools that we work with like that.
Okay.
So it's not
All right.
every school.
Okay. I want to make sure. Okay.
So the schools that we've been at for a while.
Okay.
So we've been doing Boys Night Out at Memorial since 2015.
So it's just man, just putting the call in.
Yeah,
Okay,
so-
and we
That's
good.
great.
We've
Shout
been there
out to
forever.
Vernus Pilch out there, man. They
Yeah,
won the
Vern.
track. Coach Vernon won the track thing again for middle school. They done had like 8 straight years.
Oh, the track.
Track. Coach Pilch went ACC with us.
What's out there with Vern?
Since we talking about sports, man. And Jay, you watch the NBA?
Robbie's
little
wife is
bit.
out there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm checking out the hoops.
Oh, you want to talk about the NBA? That's your segment. You want to talk a little hoop, but Jay said he watched a little bit of it. So I mean,
Yeah, I don't take nothing but a little bit. Ask Jimmy Butler.
anyway. Oh, Torres laughed at that. Okay, that's cute. Okay, that's cute. Yeah, mute all those mic, man. So, like I was saying, so do you have? So what time do the kids get there?
So for Boys Night Out, we do 6:30 to 8, but the boys be there at 5:30 because some of them stay after school.
Okay.
They're like, we ain't going home, we staying.
Yeah, we staying. We finna come and kick it.
So sometimes, they beat us there. But actual start time is 6:30.
I was gonna say,
What
cause
night?
I be getting there at 6:30. It already be full, bro.
Yeah.
What night?
Friday.
Friday.
The last Friday. The last Friday each
of the
month. Now, let me ask you this. I got to ask you, and I don't want to be negative. Do you got them parents that come late to get their kids?
Yeah.
So on a normal, just
You gotta
give
hear
it to
You
me.
got to hear one of my videos I posted the other day. Like, one of my announcements at the end of the night is call your mama, call your auntie, your daddy, whoever coming to pick you up, call them now.
Call Uber.
They'll be there till 9 o'clock. And they won't call. They'll be sitting there eating, chilling, throwing basketballs. I'm like, hey, man, it's
Time to go.
8:55. They're like, oh, let me call my mama. Oh, let you call your mama? What you mean?
See that's the struggle. That's what makes it arduous.
Well, that means that
But we also, so yeah, we be tired, so we be ready to go. But
Right, absolutely.
we'll call and we'll be like, hey, we got done at 8. Oh my God, I ain't even know. He told me it was done at 8:30. So sometimes
It's 9.
sometimes
It's
the
9.
boys just want to stay later.
but they want to sit down there and
Hang out.
fellowship and
You got
do
food,
whatever.
You got free food.
Oh, y'all have food too?
Oh yeah, they feed them too now.
Oh, right. That's why they don't want to go.
If you come help, you can eat too. They gave me some chicken nugget from Publix the other day.
Yeah, he took a couple handfuls.
Yeah.
Shout out to Safe and Sound. They sponsor our food and they make sure that we fed real good. Them boys be tearing it up too.
Safe and sound, shout out. That's good stuff they
They
doing,
be
man.
tearing it up. And my big
Watch
thing
your ass in
is
to go.
my big thing is to let them have whatever they want. Like, how many chips you want to have, how many gummies you want to have. Because when it's gone, it's gone. We not putting no more out. So
Right.
if you eat up all the Rice Krispie treats, your brother ain't gonna get none. That's y'all got to talk about that. We're not.
So see, y'all ain't got like the lunchroom line. Okay, one. Okay, keep going.
Nah. Do your thing. What you want? Okay, cool.
But it's in abundance though. Like it's enough.
It's enough. Okay, well
enough.
that's cool. Like I
Because
said,
I think they was at the end of that last one, they was trying to give like the sandwiches. Man, y'all got to take some of this food with y'all.
Yeah, we had a lot of sandwiches last time, and them boys,
And they was eating, bro.
And so what we did last time, the boys they was like, "Are we really finna do this?" We went to like Nebraska and was giving out some of the sandwiches to the homeless
that's all right,
because
then.
that's cool.
I was like,
That's
what,
all right.
we about to do something with this. So they was like, we gotta go talk to the people. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were able to do
Yeah.
that. That was pretty cool.
Me and Waldo did that last year. Shout out to Conan's, man. We did the feed the homeless, and I tell people all the time, you never, when you think about just something as simple as food, and I know we throw away food, but to see the look on the people's faces when they go to eat and they hungry, I mean they eating.
Yeah, but it don't be that for me, bro. It be the ones that be tripping, bro.
That's
So,
that,
you got them-
that
so
can be
we was-
arduous as well.
But we was I was passing eye on Florida, Nebraska, and on 21st in Nebraska, right at the Checkers. So I pulled in the Checkers, opened up the trunk. I guess the people they went to Checkers, and they seen me passing out food. They came back around with Checkers bags in the car
Yeah,
and asked me for food.
yeah.
Yeah, you definitely got them people that'll be tripping. One time for Thanksgiving, we took them to do the feeding, and we had some plates that were fried chicken and some plates that were baked chicken. So we really had people like, we don't want the baked chicken.
Yeah, I want the fried
Yeah.
chicken.
But you hungry.
We don't
That's
want
a-
this one. We don't
but-
want this one.
But I'm gonna tell you a funny story that the year before, we fed the homeless. It was at Tent City, not too far from the same area you talking about. So Trig does something for the veterans a couple weeks before Veterans Day. So Trig had a big cooler full of beer. So you know, like man, like D man, you know, just take these with you. So I just never forget. You know, we loading it up. We got the dinners. My wife was like, "They ain't gonna drink that beer." I said, "I don't know." I said, "I think
What?
they drunk on the beer."
They don't want the food.
So this way it get funny.
don't want the food.
Here we go, brother Jay. So I pull up, Tent City, hit the trunk. I got the cooler, so passed out the dinner. So I gave a dude Bud Light. Here they come. Now they coming out. Now they coming like roaches. Hey, man,
Wow. Like
man,
roaches,
man, I heard you got beer. I said, but you got to get a meal. No, I want the beer. I said, bro, I cannot give you the beer without giving you a meal. You got to get a beer. I mean, you got to get the meal. So they taking the beer. So as we get into it, mind you, I probably got about 150 beers, like different assorted kinds of beer. So
You was the man that day.
exactly. So the dude was like, "What dude like, man? Well, my homeboy, he can't walk. So you'll give me a beer to get him." I said, "I got to give you a meal too." No, man, just give me the beer. I said, I can't. But it got to the point like I'm arguing with people.
I'm surprised you made it out.
They don't want the food.
They didn't want the food.
Yeah.
They want that beer. Like, and I was just like, that's crazy.
Taste or something.
And I had a dude was like, the funny thing, a dude, older cat, like, man, you come back to the bar? I said, I ain't coming back to the bar, bro. I ain't coming back. I be with my family at the bars. I ain't coming back to the bar, bro. But it was just like you say, just to see how people are. It's just like Waldo said, they make it so difficult, and you try to do good and do right. Then you have people come like people want water. We had that too. Y'all ain't got no water. I want a water too. Like, what?
But I mean, I give them water. Like,
we'll be better prepared. We'll have water.
I went and bought water. If they asked me
Waldo
water,
bought water.
I went and bought some water because I get you some water. Now if you, man, I need a soda. Now you doing too much.
Yeah.
You got Sprite?
Yeah, you
But
doing too much.
I think we'll be better prepared. We'll probably get about maybe 3-4 cases of water. So, and I give a trig on that. No.
I went and bought some water.
But see, I got to get better because in my mind I'm thinking like you hungry.
But you do.
You gotta drink something.
Got to drink something with it. Okay, well, I stand to be. I apologize, people. I'm only human. You know, I'm only human. I make mistakes. I mean, hey.
Okay, we're gonna sing that.
No, we're not gonna say. We ain't gotta make it karaoke. I'm just saying. I'm just like, you know, because in my mind, like when you're hungry, like, hey, you know, hey, bro, appreciate that. You know, so. But then we definitely will have water when we do our next feed the homeless. But I'm just saying. But that was so you get that. So when you took the food out to it, they was cutting up with you.
Yeah, they was, and you know I'm dramatic too, so I make it. You know, it's gonna be, you're gonna have a journey with me.
We finna go back and forth. Then I got time.
So
okay.
They was cool though. They was happy about it.
Majority of them be cool. It just be like one or two. It just be one or two every time though.
But, and I'm telling you, like,
Every
when
time.
I
It's
hit,
like doing this show. It's just one or two
Every time.
Every time.
but
You
my
and D.
route, we hit. Me and Waldo hit. We hit Nebraska. Then where the park is, we hit them. Then I hit.
What our Family Dollar is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right there across from the public.
exactly. So it is sad that we have so many homeless people out here. And then you know what's even crazy?
Getting worse.
It is. I live in Ruskin. Like 301 being further back, it's homeless people out there now.
I heard.
And I'm talking they right behind where the Sam's is, there's an area where they have like tents set up.
For now.
And you'll see them out there like by the Burger King, right by the Sam's. You know, they got the little car, they walking around, they hungry. I'm like, man, this is crazy.
Well, when
You know what I'm saying?
You know, economics displaces people as well as we seem to have lost our way as a society where we have this many people homeless because they can't afford to have a place to live, even if they're willing to work.
Right.
Anybody that works in this society should be able to have some form of roof over or shelter over their
Well, you
head.
should, but like I said, but if the rent $1,800,
what he's saying.
That's my
what he's
point.
saying.
We should have had rent controls in place years ago. Of course, for those.
But I go back to, I just think COVID. I just really believe when a lot of stuff started with COVID, they try to get it back.
We needed rent controls in place, and I know there's some people in the room that may not like to hear that, but we need some rent controls in place that should have been voted in years
Well, y'all
ago.
beefing? You and Tori beefing about the rent? Y'all beefing?
I don't know.
That's just different political views. That's all.
Oh, okay. Which can be arduous.
Yes,
It can be. It can be arduous.
At times.
And interestingly enough, Shannon Crowder to your right agrees with a lot of it as well. We don't play the long game. We talked about that. We did not play the long game because when we talked about that area, what's the beef? But then we go down to that area, you see what the beef is.
Right.
No,
They done paid $1-2 million for these houses.
And they don't care where you go, as long as you don't come here and you don't tell us what we should do.
Yeah.
Right.
And now we're feeling the brunt. A lot of people who are unfortunately feeling the brunt of this stuff.
Right. But I think also with that is that I know you talk about with the when people pay, those are generations that y'all talking about that have invested.
No, not
necessarily.
Not where we was at.
Not necessarily.
Them was people that moved down here just buying these houses, and they moved here because of that school district.
Okay.
No, there's a lot more people with a lot of money that don't care what happens to anybody.
But they want their area.
It was a dude said, my friend, it was a kid.
Yes,
my friend
$2 million
spent $2 million to move down here to go to these schools.
for that house, yeah.
For that house, to go to these schools in this neighborhood.
And when I sent you over there, you saw right there about it.
Mm-hmm.
Where this was at?
It's Lois and Henderson?
Yeah, Lois.
Palmacia, right? That's Palmacia.
No. Palmacia is on the
It's
other
further,
side.
yeah.
No, we talking about Lois Henderson. It's what's the name of that dog? Mabry Elementary, and it's the Plant District.
Yeah, it's plenty. That's right by Christ the King.
Yeah, but you're talking about on the other side, Daryl.
But I know with Lois, Henderson Outback is Henderson, and Lois is close to that. Where the Outback is, that's ducked off on Henderson.
You talking about further down?
Right, but it's not. It's in range. I'm saying,
yeah, but that's not Palmacia.
I mean, okay, that's not Palmacia.
That's
right?
actually West Shore.
Exactly. You're right.
But my concern is as people come into the city, because now and we don't want to get off of his subject. One of the most expensive areas to live in now is 06 and 09.
But also with that, like we just talked about, like Brother Jay was saying earlier,
$40,000 an average house.
Mm-hmm.
Communities that have money, your West Chases, your Tampa Palms, your South Tampas, they gonna keep every kid in their area. They don't want them going out. They not doing that.
No, because
we gonna pay. We gonna pay whatever we got to pay.
Those schools are better schools,
right? That's what I'm saying. But that's the bitter reality of it all.
The school ain't better. There may be more. There's a concentration of concerned people, which is where it comes to him.
Okay,
but that makes it a better school.
It makes it a better school, though. Makes it a better school, right? But
they are more concerned, so they've put more effort into making the school better.
Okay, Sumner's not even. Sumner's 3 years. Sumner's going on their fourth year coming up. So the 9th grade class, you'll be seniors this upcoming year. They are 200% over capacity.
Daughter goes.
So you talking about 6,200 kids
busting at the scene.
But that's the growth rate of the area, though.
Okay, but
you're gonna have to have 2 more high schools.
But you could very easily. But you sit back and think East Bay is
that school needs to be.
Well, but I'm just saying. But you have East Bay and Leonard, which are in 10-minute commutes. Easily. Leonard does not have. Leonard is under capacity.
It is?
Yes.
That's interesting.
They about 85%, because what they did was they took all the 9th and 10th graders out of all the neighborhoods in the area and shipped them to Sumner. So now when you got the school, the school of choice is probably going to be removed, but then you got the neighborhood, because I live in Belmont, so all the kids from Belmont, they go to Sumner. Then you got Airsworth, they go to Sumner. So you have kids that are everywhere.
So what's Summerfield?
What's the farthest
Summerfield go to East Bay.
What's the farthest your kids generally coming from? Or you just grab everybody?
We have people that come from everywhere, but most of them come from the furthest, maybe like southeast Tampa, so like Progress Village, Clemel.
Okay.
We have a few that might live in Brandon,
right?
But most of them
And then something else too. If you have a parent that works, a lot of parents ain't going home then coming back.
Mm-hmm.
So you probably got, like I said, your area that for penetration is probably more East Tampa, West Tampa, North Tampa, because that's in Memorial is right. That's centrally located. So if you live in East Tampa, you Fort to Hillsborough, that's a 10-minute drive. If you Highland Pines, that's straight down. You know, you could 10, 15 minutes. But you talk about a parent that lives in Brandon, they kid either got to go to school on that side of town, or they got to, you know, try to get something worked out.
Could you expand? Would Bubba be as an engaging or an enticing outlet for kids that are south of Riverview Drive?
Well, absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean,
we have a couple parents that actually want to bring their kids to our stuff, but because it's, you know,
the distance
far,
right?
Like, you know, do y'all do anything out in Riverview? I'm like, we don't. But I was like, the closest we get to that is Progress Village. We'll do some stuff out there, but definitely is a need. And when we first started, we were out. I had a group at.
But I forgot now. I didn't cut you off. Now I know why you could get that, because you have the same. Well, I don't need to look though, Daryl. You gotta look at me condescending.
I'm waiting on you to say it, but go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, that's all right.
Go ahead. Call it like it is. I mean, we're going to call it.
His feelings hurt, y'all.
I'm just saying, because you sit back and think, and then, like,
Why you do him like that?
When you reach, in fact, let's do this, folks. We're going to take our second break. So,
We got the
this gonna be brought to you.
answer
Yeah, we're gonna pick it back up. This going to be brought to you by my man Carlos by the Auto Repair Center. I'm telling you who Carlos got.
Phoenix.
No, he got the 4 Series. He got all 4 of them. 813-443-4730, 7101 North. North 40th Street.
Yeah.
He got the Knicks to beat the Heat.
Cap.
Me too.
He has Philly to beat Boston.
Ain't never happening.
He got the Nuggets to beat the Suns, and he got LeBron them to beat Golden State.
Absolutely perfect choice.
Okay, and then you see we rock.
Knicks 0-7 when they go down.
Yeah, Waldo brought it to my attention.
0-7
Why
when they go
win.
down.
Yes,
They lose game 1 at home.
He's the worst. He's the worst fan in the world to watch a guy. I tell you about it when we come back from the break. And you see we rock. See Dade City rocking his white, but I'm rocking my black and white.
Okay.
Ruff got his black and white on. WEDZ, we do it easy, man. July 1st.
I'd love to have a red one with black letters, Mrs.
You gotta hit. Yeah, you gotta hit Miss Newton. You gotta hit the plug.
813 Elevated Designs. 813. Yeah,
we can't get nothing from them. We gotta talk to.
You
the
gotta talk to
plug.
Ghost. I'm timing.
So
you gotta talk to Ghost. I'm timing.
Definitely an enjoyable evening to see Miss Newton live and in person.
Yeah. Okay, Eddie Haskell. So Torres, give us something, man. 813-400-7015. Do not own the rights to this music. Torres, give us some Arduous again. We're gonna take our last break. We figured it out. This is our last segment of Chop Shop. So, you're truly EZDZ. We have Dade City's been stepping out on everybody for the entire show.
That's not true.
Okay, anyway, my man Ruff, a.k.a. Greg Dawson. We got Jalem Robinsion, Brother Jay, kicking it with us.
What?
Speaking of regards to that.
Brothers United Building Brothers Alliance.
There you go. Mm-hmm. So I like that name. So piggybacking on what we talked about earlier, so with the anything extra that you tried to maybe like say a little 3-on-3, like y'all do little stuff like basketball, little flag football with the kids, like things like I think that'll be kind of cool. Like if you hit maybe like one Saturday if possible, and I would definitely want to get in on something like, if y'all had like a day where the kids came out, did different things, like different events, I think that'll be kind of cool. Yeah, we do a lot of different things, and we do that just because we know that different boys have different interests and different. Bro, I'm just trying to get some input, man. That's all I'm doing. Why y'all looking at me like that, bro?
I ain't say nothing, bro.
But your faceless friend.
You can't even see I'm behind these shades. You can't even see my eyes.
Bro, Jay, I'm sorry, man. Go ahead, man.
He's so defensive around.
I know. He's so negative today, bro. What's wrong?
Bro, Jay, I apologize, man. These guys here, man. Go ahead.
But I would love to have you come out.
Yeah, every Friday. They do an event every Friday night. On the last Friday every month.
What are you looking at?
Oh, I ain't looking at
Friday. It's Friday.
Last Friday every month.
Last Friday every month.
You can come out there. I'll be out there.
Swinging.
And where y'all going to be on the 25th?
I think it's the 26th this month. Is it?
First, 26. You're right. 26, right?
So we're deciding where we're going to be this month. We won't be at Memorial this month.
That's the last day of school. So do y'all run it through the summer too?
Yeah, we just changed up the location for the summertime. So we usually do it at like a park.
Okay.
So
now I know with that could you compete with that summer camps and things like that? So does it fall off in?
Summer camps ain't doing it like we do it.
Okay. All right.
And by that time they ready to send the kids home. So we're like the after, kind of like the after hours.
Summer camps. Yeah. Summer camps on a Friday.
Yeah, summer camp. They Monday through Friday.
What y'all drinking out there? What y'all doing out there? He said the after hours.
Gatorade.
I don't know what
I said the after hours.
I was hoping you were
Huggy juice.
What?
Yeah.
I know they're gonna have pizza and sandwiches out there. I know that.
Yeah.
Well, they got chow.
We might switch it up next time. We might have some barbecue or something,
Oh yeah, okay.
I'm middles at that point.
I'm feeling the pizza and the sandwiches, bro.
Yes.
Yeah, he just feeling free.
Yeah. I ain't want to say that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't want to sound like that guy.
But you are.
Yeah, I am. Free food, I'm there.
What about I can't even.
Who you texting?
I'm just sitting back tripping on y'all right now. Let me ask you,
y'all?
Have you? I think maybe like someday do like maybe like college tours. I'm just thinking like what can we do to help Bubba to get
He
kids.
said he need you to be there on Friday.
Come on a Friday night and see.
Okay.
The last Friday every month. Come out there and see.
But all that too, like all that stuff too, we do all that. So if anybody is interested in getting more engaged and doing that stuff with us, we always are welcoming new guys.
Have you talked to any of these so-called? Have you spoken to any of these church? What are you looking at that for?
You rough, bro.
Hey, whatever, man. I mean, I'll be pleasant. Have you spoken to any of these churches?
Not really.
Yeah, church of chicken. That's about it.
But
okay, so any of the church people who are out here listening,
go ahead.
You can get in contact with Jalem. I'm sure Jalem's going to give you his contact information. Make sure you're speaking to the mic.
Go ahead.
Yeah, what the church people gonna do though? Just bring their boys or something?
No, they could probably find ways to give you resources, help you out, volunteer, give some time. Also, because many churches, hopefully none of these young men are in these situations that may need hours. There are ways to get the community involved, and maybe we're not being as direct. They can put their hand out. They can put their hand in.
Amen, brother.
That's strong. I like how you put that in. Put the hand out. Put the hand in. I like what you say about for the forever. I think I like that. That's
and we're
cool.
trying to avoid the negative forever.
Yeah. And then y'all doing something with the ladies. You gotta.
So we're not doing something.
I know you're
with the
not
ladies,
per se, but you gotta.
But in response to our Boys Night Out, since it's such a hot topic at Memorial, we have at one point in time when there was an after school program there, the girls used to be mad that they couldn't stay. They be like, we want to listen to music and EPs and play too. We like, nah, but you can't stay. So now they do their own girls' night out on first Fridays there, and they call themselves Sisters. So it's like our sister group.
SISTERS or SISTAS or AZ.
Don't have me lying, but Sisters.
Yeah, it
That's how I say
ain't
like that.
Bubble. He don't care.
Yeah, but
They ain't swinging like us yet.
But
he said they ain't swinging like
They ain't
them.
swinging
yet.
like us yet.
Hey, I want to say this, and it may come across misogynistic, which it shouldn't be. People just probably be offended. I'm glad to know that there is an organization that caters to the needs of young men.
Yeah, there's several.
And if we can find more, you all want to come in or holler at Heavy and get in touch with Daryl, either through Facebook or what have you. Let us know. See what we can do to help.
Yeah, and that's another topic. I want to talk to you about like collaborations. Know there was a gentleman there y'all working on. Yeah, we probably making music. I know there was a gentleman there. You might not want to bring it up, like what you're doing, but as far as moving down the line, do you see yourself doing more collaborations and trying to bring the movement to a bigger platform, or bringing more people in and trying to grow the platform so everybody just, instead of pulling people down with the crap mentality, everybody pulling people up out the bucket?
Absolutely, positively. I wonder if you're talking about Jason. You talking about Jason?
Well, dang, we just trying to be
Empowered
discreet. You
Minds.
wouldn't know more.
Okay.
Yeah, no secrets. But I've always, and our events are open to anybody, no matter what program or group you're affiliated with. So in our early days, we would send, when there were a lot more boys mentoring programs, we would send out the invites to those other programs so that they could engage and interact with our boys, because it's not a real experience for our boys just to know our boys. Like that's
Right.
That's great, but how much greater and richer of an experience for them to know.
You want to build a community.
Yeah. So
you build a community.
I'm on that, and everybody who knows me knows I'm on that. So I'm always trying to create spaces where my boys can interact with other boys and other groups and stuff like that.
How receptive were other organizations when you reach out to them?
So they're pretty receptive, and so we've got a couple. I can only think of like 3 right now: Gentleman's Quest, Men of Vision. At one point in time, it was Elite Men of Tomorrow that used to come out to our stuff, and they participate in our events like Sons in Suits. They participate in our Crucial Conversations, panel discussions. We usually have a youth from each of those mentoring organizations speak on our panel, because I really believe that brotherhood isn't about just the boys in your group. That's ridiculous. Yeah, you took 10 boys to DC, but how about you take 100 boys and 10 boys from this group and 10 boys from that group and 10 boys? So I'm all about that, because I really believe, like, I want them to be able to have 100 brothers. Like, you in the mall walking and every brother you see, forget what program they in, you have just interacted with them on some kind of level before. So I'm always like, trying to figure out what ways I can, collaborate with other groups. That's what, me and Jason got going on. He does the fishing. We don't do that. So
Yeah, shout out my man.
Shout out to Jason.
let's go.
Brother
Let's ride.
Jay.
Take some
Yeah,
of my
Jay.
boys out there with you. That's what you do. That's what you specialize in. So anybody who does something, knows how to do something, wants to do something, we got the boys. What's up? What you trying to do?
It's funny you bring it up, because there's a group in Atlanta called 100 Black Men, and a lot of people may not know about that. But what they did for years was sponsor Tennessee State, Florida A&M in Atlanta, and that went on. They probably just stopped playing probably the last 8-9 years or so. But I know from the early '80s
For a while.
through my adolescent years, that was a game, and they used to play at the stadium. Then when they closed out, they moved to the Dome. They moved to play in the Georgia Dome. That was a big thing. And once it was 100 black men from all different walks of life, attorneys, doctors, lawyers, just 100 black men. That's what they called it. And they got with Coca-Cola, and they would bring Tennessee State and Florida A&M, battle of the bands, and it was a real big thing, because you being an HBCU product, so you understand going to FAM, you had kids from all over, And that's why, I get back to, we talked about earlier, where it's important for kids to understand where they come from, where they're heroes. I never forget, and I tell people all the time, Killer Mike did an interview on The Breakfast Club. You remember that? Mm-hmm. Best interview, very passionate, like he said, how can you go to a private school and want to achieve greatness, but you won't do it at a school named after Frederick Douglass, Martin Luther King, Benjamin E. Mays, George Washington Carver, Booker T. Washington, that makes no sense. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that's the thing that a lot of our children were not aware, because, you know, we had Black History where we had to do a report in February. You know, you spoke, but growing up in Atlanta, we had to do something every week on Black History. You know, and it was so many people that, you know, did inventions and different things. It was like, you know, I appreciate that now, because now they ain't even trying to do Black History no more, right?
Oh yeah, no.
DeSantis is trying to eliminate that, and that's crazy.
Let me say this.
Here we go.
There's some of there's been revisions to the curriculum. Some of the things that he called useless information, I think there's a personal jab, but I want everybody who voted for him, especially everybody down in South Florida who's underwater, to think about it, because he's overseas somewhere, bombing as he should be. But hey man, it's personal, bro, because there's things have been banned, but you can still become proactive, and many of these issues may be violations of federal rights. I haven't looked into a lot of it, but he did come back and they did revise some of the restrictions, and I don't necessarily disagree with all of them. I just think the correlation was the issue, but people, you need to get involved in it. And Jalem will tell you, years ago, I told him your next step needs to be, because people our age are supposed to be on our way moving out. You know, we're still young enough to be in politics, but politics needs to be controlled by young people, because you all are the future. So.
Well, that's a narrative. I mean, that's definitely a narrative. But, you know, I always say, but just like, you know, we always talk, who wants to get involved? So people always, that energy be at the beginning. Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, let's do it. Now it's time to do it. Man, I ain't.
But it has to be instilled at a younger age.
There you go.
Like it's gonna be tough to get
people in their 30s
to
want to try to get down
to try to get into the politics. It has to be instilled in you at a younger age. So at generations before us weren't able to vote. So now they were able to vote, and they were just so happy on voting. Yeah. They just went and voted.
Because P. Diddy, like I still remember 2008 when Obama ran, P. Diddy had to vote or die. Everybody jumped on that. You know what I'm saying? You got young people out, they were really engaged in the voting process.
But at the same time, they're still engaged. It's just certain young people.
But it's at the same time, they don't know what they're voting for.
They just voting.
They don't know what they're voting for.
I think it's about to change.
A lot of
women know what they're voting for. A lot of people,
I mean, it's a lot that don't. It's a lot that don't.
I ain't speaking about our women.
Okay. Yeah. So
the informed are going to start voting, and what's unfortunate is now that so much gerrymandering has been going on, these districts have been essentially drawn to ensure certain representation. Now young people have to really become active, because if you don't become active, what you thought were your rights and your privileges, even though there are express provisions in federal law that protect some of them, you're going to be losing a lot more. Look what's happening in Mississippi.
I think you said something that's really big about all of this, though, is you said the informed are going to vote. There's a large percentage that's not informed.
Oh, and we follow people who have celebrity status who really give bad information.
You got to get little baby out there to say vote.
Yeah.
Well, he needs
Kodak. Get Kodak out there.
For real.
Because they'll get behind that. They'll get behind, like you're saying, that's the world we live in.
They still won't know what they just go vote.
They'll go vote. If you want to become a little more informed civically, just check us out every Tuesday and Thursday night at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Blog Talk Radio. You can go to blogtalkradio.com/Greg. I don't know. I know Johnny Torres will come on and say a couple of things.
Who's going to be the host? It'll
be Greg Dawson and Squid if you need either one of them.
Okay, I'm just trying to see what clothes I should wear.
Hey, you can from your living room, you can sit in there in your drawers. But I'll tell you, young people, it wasn't that long ago. You know, I was born less than a month after before Dr. King. Less than a month before Dr. King was assassinated. I was born in the watershed year of 1968. I've been all over the world. I tell people I got my formative education on the plantation home of Jefferson Davis, Beauvoir,
State of Mississippi, eh?
That's right. And you look at Mississippi right now, despite the hundreds of millions of dollars that are poured into that state in areas that are still very impoverished, we took voting and participation for granted, and these people are now going to suffer for this. They're even getting ready to take away your legislative authority power in Mississippi. And if you think it's not coming to a state near you, you are out of your mind.
That's real. So before we wrap this up, man, I'm gonna let Brother Jay give his shout outs.
Make sure you give out. Hey, make sure you're clear. Speaking to the microphone and all the churches
Give all your information, man. I mean, if you have a website,
won't he do it?
Whatever you got.
Yeah, won't he do it?
Won't he will?
Shout out to the Bubba team, all my guys out there. It's too many to name, but y'all know who y'all are. If you're looking for us, you want to get engaged, you want to get your son engaged, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Bubba_Tampa, or just put Bubba of Tampa in your Google search. We're going to pop up because we do a little something. You'll see us doing Boys Night Out, Sons in Suits, Crucial Conversations. We got a whole bunch of different things going on. And I really want to say to my guys who are thinking about getting involved, but you feel like, you might not want to because of whatever the reason might be. You're the one that we want. You're the one that the boys want to see. You're the one that the boys need to talk to, need to hear from. So don't worry about waiting. You ain't got to clean yourself up. You don't got to do anything. You're the ones we want interacting with our guys. So Bubba_Tampa, come see about us.
Yeah, because I was the first time I went, I ain't know what to wear, so I was about to come in.
But you had a suit on or something like that?
I was about to put one on.
Interesting.
But I ain't know, because I see sons in suits. You know what I'm saying? I ain't know what type of event it was going to be.
You want to be safe.
I like the crucial conversations that actually piqued my interest. So
Like
again,
I say,
Bubba_Tampa, Crucial Conversations. Let's go to Bubba of Tampa. And do you have an email address, by the way, that anybody can reach you?
Yes, J Robinson, ROBINSON at Bubba BUBBA of Tampa.org.
Okay. Good stuff. Like I said, we gotta get you and Torred. Y'all gonna definitely chop it up before we get out of it. I mean, when we go off air, so definitely. Cause I mean that'll be great. That'll be big. What y'all rapping about? That'll be big. I definitely want to see that come together.
We going to Wingstop, bro?
Absolutely. Okay. That goes without saying.
By the way, we forgot to give a shout out to the Wingstop locations.
Oh, we finna do that now. If we get out, we gotta acknowledge them. They pay the food. Yeah, I'm already up on that. Torred know what time it is.
Yeah, I don't see it.
We going to. Okay,
so now you gonna blame Torres?
No, I was getting into it.
Why you finger pointing?
Why you being so animated?
I
don't know what it is.
You know what I'm saying? I know what Ricky Bell feel like. I know what Ricky Bell feel like. I get it. I got Bobby Brown here and I got Raph. Everybody gonna go. That's cool.
No, that's Ralph.
That's Bobby. That's definitely Bobby. You got that Raph in you now. Yeah. So with that being said,
destroy the group, huh?
Those that keep the groceries coming, man. First, my man Mike Trigg and my man E Trigg down at Conan's down in downtown Carver City. JD, you been there before?
Oh yeah.
It's Jefferson, Jefferson Country, right?
Okay.
441 Cypress Street, Tampa, Florida.
We almost did the show that I'm saying something about Jefferson. We almost made it.
University of Thomas Jefferson High
We
School.
almost made it. What I'm saying something about Jefferson.
We could shout out Conan before he get here.
Yeah. Early.
Hey, they know what's important.
15. Can't even get this out, man. This gotta be tripping. 1510 Hubert Lane, man. Go check them out. 813-870-0404. North Hubert Avenue. Okay, Hubert Avenue. If you Google 1510 Hubert, see what I'm talking about? That's at Jefferson. They always want to correct. I always want to correct you.
That's how we do it.
They got the best barbecue in the city, man.
Absolutely.
And then also, I saw First Choice close their doors this past week. 31 years, man.
Wow.
They closed their doors this past weekend.
Don't let the fact that First Choice is no longer there dissuade you. Take that extra 15, 20-minute ride out there to 1501 North Hubert. 1510 Hubert Avenue or whatever in Tampa.
They don't sponsor the show, so
somebody must have been stealing.
Yeah, I don't know, but like I said, I'm down with Conan.
Hey, listen, just take the taste buds for great barbecue to Conan's. You will not be disappointed.
Yeah,
Make
my
sure you
man,
tell them
Trey,
that.
they do their
Tell
thing
them
real decent.
EZDZ and Chop Shop sent you. They'll take care of you.
Ain't no doubt about that. I'm with you when you're right. And then last but not least, man, where
always.
we're heading right now, always the after party is always at Wingstop.
Little chow.
Now, I always throw this out. Don't go to Selfner. Don't go to 22nd and Hillsboro. Don't go nowhere in Brandon. There's 4 locations. Torrey let these folks know. Okay,
Don't go nowhere on Del Mabry.
Nowhere on Del Mabry. Yeah, nowhere
Just the
in those
folk
areas.
that you know.
Yeah, just so you know. We got 4 locations.
Before you know.
23048, Florida Highway 54, 813-705-9464. 1219 Bruce B. Downs, 813-536-0202. Then we also got, 0222. Then we also got 9305 North 56th Street, 813-313-5174. That's where we going tonight. So after party is always at the one on 56, and then headquarters where it all started, 2776 North Fowler, 813-903-9464. In fact, shout out Wesley Chapel softball team. They won their district. They'll be got a home game tomorrow at 7 o'clock. I already bought my ticket, so I will be in the building tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock on up there at Wesley Chapel. Kendall McCann's doing her thing. Keep hitting that ball, Kendall.
Like a female David Ortiz out there.
Yeah, she hitting the ball. Yeah, she cleared south. That's about 380.
Really?
Yeah.
She hits like that?
How the bat sound?
Payow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Payow.
There's a drive. Left center field. She won't get there.
When she hit it,
Back,
you can't even
back,
gone.
and
It ain't no
gone.
back. It's just pow. It's gone.
Oh, they
You know how Barry Bonds used to look? How Barry Bonds look just, okay, just
No,
go.
Barry didn't even move. He
Yeah,
just
Barry just give the hands on his knees. So, any big plans this coming up week? I know you watching the Heat Knicks. They game 3 will be in Miami on Saturday.
Yeah. So that's probably all I'm gonna be doing, man.
Jake, do you like basketball a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit.
Who your team?
I like the Heat.
You do? Okay. Respect.
Let's go Heat.
Okay. Who? Now I got that. Who you like in the Steph LeBron?
Steph.
Who you like?
I rock with Steph. I don't like to go with who everybody rocking
The sexy
with.
pick.
Yeah, I don't like to.
So you kind of go against the grain. So you kind of want to ride with Bron.
Yeah, I rock with him, but I can't all the way rock with him just because. That's
So
like
either way, whoever win, you good with whoever win the series.
I'm with Steph though.
Okay, that's fair. We got it out you. That's fair.
I don't got no problem with Bron.
Okay, that's fair. And I already know. We already know. Ruff died with them Lakers, man. I'm trying to see who.
79.
He died with them Lakers. You already know that.
He seen 50 like
No,
last
he said
game. I don't know if he nervous.
He said they were going to beat Memphis. He said they were going to beat Memphis. He said they were going to beat Memphis.
As they should.
Oh, yeah,
They
they
shouldn't
also
even been
something
doing
else
all
too.
that with
Hey,
Memphis.
Dylan Brooks, stop doing all that talking, man. That you don't say that when your team lose,
No,
man.
he
Stop
was
doing
humble. He was
that.
humble. He said he needs to learn how to talk.
No. He said that Sunday, but Friday after the game, he left. He didn't say nothing.
But he
spoke with somebody. He spoke with somebody yesterday.
Right.
But when they won game 2, he spoke. When they lost 3, 4, he didn't speak. And then he didn't speak game 6. You can't be that kind of player, dog.
He can be whatever he wants to be. Be what
He
you
right,
want
he
to
can
be.
be. But I'm gonna quote the late great Kuda P out of the mayor of Ebo City. Don't skin and win when you grin. Don't cry the blues when you lose. Keep that same energy.
Shout out, bless the dead
God
Kuda.
bless his soul, Kuda P.
Hey, he said
The
also,
mayor of Ebo City.
if I tell you a duck
can pull a truck, you better hook him up. Okay.
I like that one.
hey,
You can take that with you now.
to the bank now.
You can take that with you now. So
So if a duck can pull a truck,
you better tell him hook. He said if I tell you a duck can pull a truck, you better hook him up.
We'll tell you off air.
Yeah.
I
Man,
said that in court a couple of times.
Kuda P had
Without the
so many,
cuss word.
man.
Hey, he right off the top.
Yeah. And then I'm telling you, so he hit you with we used to get down on gang and these Bucks
Stay
fans.
like you like.
Now that Brown stay right, but he said I say, Kuda, you like the Bucks this week? He say, is it elephant heavy? And he saying real low too. Is it elephant heavy? Redstone Kuda P, good dude, man, solid
Great
dude.
Great dude.
So yeah, we got a Big show coming up next week, man. We got the ladies coming in here, man. Whitney Nicole and Teresa Woodard. They gonna talk about women empowerment, entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Now Waldo, I'm crazy Waldo is. I'm telling crazy Waldo is.
About 4 chairs.
Waldo say Teresa gonna sit in his lap the entire show and say they gonna kiss and hug and do all that. I told them, no, this ain't that kind of show. So y'all need to set. Yeah. They got a Best Western like down the street.
They said Best Western.
Yeah, so get that. Take that down there.
The red roof.
Yeah, we ain't doing that here. So before we get out of here, man, like I like to do every week, and I like Golden State to beat the Lakers too.
Keep that energy.
Oh, it ain't going nowhere. Any artist don't want to see the art. Any producer don't want to see these.
No. Any artist.
Y'all don't mess me up.
Now, see, once
Let me back up.
lack of accountability. It's always somebody else's fault.
Let me get this right. Any artist that want to see the executive producer on the videos, on the record, dancing, come to Death Row. So for Torres, how's the app coming? WEZDZ, how's that coming? I've been putting the word out.
Yeah, it's looking good.
Looking good.
Right?
Sir?
For the 15th?
No, July 1st. I mean, we gonna go live July 1st, but I mean, but whenever we can unveil it.
Do a test run.
Yeah, we gonna
Test
unveil
run,
it tomorrow. Is ready tomorrow?
No, he said
Said
we'll get with it. I ain't gonna put no Torres got a lot going on, man.
He said win.
Okay.
Nah, I'm just.
So my man, special guest Jalem Robinson, Dade City, who been cutting up all entire show, and my man, AKA Ruff.
I did get my appeal. I know what I was doing last week. I was doing my appeal. I did an appeal.
You got it?
Yeah, I had to complete an appeal on a deadline. So if you go to the second DCA website and you look under DOS, it'd be DOS versus the Tuckers, Linda and what's that lady's name? Oh, Chandra and Linda Tucker. And I have another one I have to do as well. So, hey, I ain't the guy to hug you, make you feel good. I'm the guy you come to when you want to win.
That's another catching one.
Okay.
That's catching that was tough.
I like that. I'm gonna use that one.
That's I sent that to y'all today.
I didn't catch
Around
that
with
one.
mine, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, then. So we're gonna get out of here. Like I said, everybody hopefully your week won't be arduous. So with that being said, keep God first, love your family when you see
on a
us.
family show. I would say, well,
Don't be like that. Hey, keep God first, love your family when you see us. Holler. We'll see y'all next Monday. It's gonna be ladies' night here next Monday, so y'all get ready. Good night.
I'll be able to come.